have to get it in our head that everybody has issues, and you have no idea what they had to go through just to get through what they got through. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So if I can remember what I came out of, I ought to be able to be sensitive to what you going through or where you at right now. And really what we're supposed to be doing is when we come into the house of God, do you know what kind of week I had? But if it had not been for the Lord who was on my side, they tried to kick me. They tried to push me. But God blocked it. Somebody ought to recognize we come to the house to testify about the goodness of Jesus. How many times you going to come into the house and get high off of Jesus' presence in the building and then leave here and you turn, change, act a totally different way? I've seen some folks out in the street, they don't even recognize my face. Come on. Because you ain't high no more. So when we recognize that this is all about developing a relationship with him, that's why the psalmist says, and he walks with me, and he talks with me. When you wake up in the morning, you ought to be talking to him. I'm talking before you get out to bed. You ought to be, after all, you're looking up anyway, you ought to start talking to him. And then when you put your feet out of the bed, you ought to still be talking to him, because you don't know if you're going to be able to stand up or not. So you need to still be talking to him. And then when you get up in the morning and get in the bathroom and look in the mirror and see yourself, you ought to start talking to him again. The more you talk to him, the more he'll introduce himself to you.